All right, guys, what's up? So we're going to be talking about some of the things that I did to get 800 on the SAT math section. Okay, the first one is you have to use the Kaplan method, right? So a lot of times when you're doing the SAT, the questions seem actually harder than what they really are. Like it's a standardized test, so it's made in a way so that you can get through it pretty quickly, right? If they give you about 1 minute per question, that means you could probably do it in about 30 seconds, right? So we have to ask ourselves, like, what do the answer choices represent, right? Another thing, you have to ask, what does this question tell me? So what is the information that the test makers give you? Like, that's when you annotate. Um, what is the strategy you're going to use? So like, what works best for you? What doesn't work well for you? So some people, they don't like skipping questions, right? Some people, they need to skip questions in order for them to be able to like um, get the questions like be able to do the other questions that are easier so they still have more time, right? So another one is translating words to math. So for example, if it says equals, is, equivalent, was, will be, has, costs, adds up, totals, the same as much as, that's all equal sign. If it says times, multiplied by, product of, twice, double, that's the times, obviously, right? If it says divided by, out of, or ratio, that would be the division sign. Also, sometimes for a ratio, you're actually going to create a ratio like using the butterfly method and everything like that, but that's different. Plus, added to, sum, combined, increased by, greater than. You're generally using plus, right? Minus, subtracted from, smaller than, less than, fewer than, decreased by, difference between. That would be a minus. Um, a number, how much, um, how many, or what. Something is unknown, I'm using X. Okay. Another SAT math tip is you have to know when you're going to use your calculator. So, you know, it can work. There's pros and cons because it can work to help you when you're using a calculator. But if you use it for the simplest things, it's going to cost you a lot of time. So you want to also do flashcards, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, like things that you can just do quickly because it's going to help you get those links faster, those mental links. Whereas like I'm not thinking of every single little thing, so it's just really more focusing on like the actual substance of what I'm working on. Um, so, like for example, when you're dealing with long division, quadratic functions, simplifying radicals, calculating roots, and then using plane and coordinate geometry, which is just graphing. Those are times where you have to ask yourself, like, is this question easy enough for me to just do the calculator on? Um, yeah. Another tip, mastering linear equations. So you need to really learn how to solve systems of equations on the SAT, right? Um, so there's obviously multiple ways to solve a system of equations. You can do substitution, elimination. You could also plug it in. Um, but obviously, I mean, using the graphing calculator wouldn't work because that would take too long. So it really would be substitution, elimination, or plugging in the options. And this is something that like a lot of people don't mention is plugging in the options. So, like for example, right? If the option says 3 comma 8, and then I have like two equations, I can just plug in x for 3, y for 8, and see if it works. Um, so a system of equations is gonna have three solutions, right? Excuse me, three options, right? Either one solution where they intersect, infinitely many, right? Where they're on the same line, the exact equations, they're the exact same equation, and no solution, which means they never touch. So that would be parallel, right? Um, and then just make sure that you always look at the clock, right? Because it says it's timed, obviously. The questions are arranged approximately in how hard, in terms of like how hard they are. So the easiest questions normally are the first, and the most difficult ones are going to be at the last, at the end. So if you're taking too much time on the easier questions on the beginning, you can just skip those and go to the last. Or if you want to like get the hard ones done first, go to the end so you have time. but you still want to be able to make sure you get those easy ones knocked out so you can, do well. All right, guys. If any of you guys are interested in tutoring, go to the link in my bio. Or I'll probably just put my number in the description. Feel free to text me, set up tutoring, and if you're more interested, we'll set up a call, see if you are a good fit, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.